So there's been a whole bunch of comments about Anthony Mackie's statement about him raising an upstanding raising upstanding men.
Young
and
man.
There's a lot of backlash telling like he's a little too hard on his kids, and
We're just in a sensitive, like, society has been, we're desensitized to all the wrong things, and we've kind of adopted this like, I guess we've pretty much like looked at anything that could be offensive and just expect the worst, or like try to magnify the negatives. Cause yeah, sure, I'm sure there's some people out there who have really strict parents or whatever, and they turned out a certain type of way. But he never said he was strict.
He just said he raised his kids in a certain type of way, like he raised them with respect, saying thank you, and shit like that.
Establishing a sense of responsibility. I ain't saying he taking it back to a kid had to work at 11 years old. Like, go get a job. And man, that's not what he's saying. I don't know.
Shifting coal out the mines.
People just be wanting to have comments on other people, seriously, because not for nothing, at least he's being a father and wanting to raise his kids. As long as he ain't, as long as he ain't on some, and if they act up, I don't let them eat. Like, he's not saying nothing, not for real, feel me? But like, not for nothing, he let him raise his kids how you want to raise his kids. Like, y'all worry about y'all's, let them. It's like a thin line, because certain people would be like, well, if you're gonna put it out there, we should be able to like speak on it. But it's like he's raising his kids. Be happy about that and call it a day. Like,
so people, which they're projecting and what their the complaints are, because he didn't say any of this, but they're equating what he's attributing to masculinity as, they're trying to make it a sexuality thing. Yeah. But it's like, it has nothing to do with what he's saying.
Oh, Lord.
And they also have a problem with him telling the 15-year-old, yo, when I'm not here, you're the man of the house.
Oh, Lord.
Not for nothing, I was told I was the man of the house since I was like 10, 11. Because my parents, my mom pretty much like raised me by herself. My dad went to jail when I was a kid, but there was no one else besides, like, there was my brother who's a year younger than me, my sister. I was walking to school since I was like 8. Like, I had to be responsible at an early age. So in certain situations, like, my mom would leave us in the crib, and it's like, well, anything happens, like, it's on you. Make sure the doors are locked. Stay away from the windows. Like, don't turn on the stove for no reason. Like, stuff like that is, it's not a terrible thing instilling responsibility in your kids at an early age. To say like, oh, this is attributing to like toxic masculinity, or you're raising your kids to hate women, or you don't know how to, like, that's just crazy.
And there's always people that have comments. So there's someone right now that's going to view your comment and be like, I feel so sorry for you. Nah, like, seriously.
Nah,
like,
you're right,
the fact that you had to be told that you have to be responsible and you should have just been able, like, bro, shut up. Like, like, yo, it's not, yo, people be trying to make it seem so harsh, and don't get me wrong, like, what floats your boat in your house, that's cool, but don't make it a thing where it's like nobody has, there is no real book that says this is how this should be done.
Yeah, this is how you raise kids.
So we all doing it on how we were either raised or how we feel like it should be done. Feel me?
That's true.
We learning from each generation and then just putting it into our kids and our kids and our kids. So it's like, to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I feel so sorry for you. When my father was sending me to the store to go pick up his cigarettes at like 8 years old. Someone right now would be like, yo, that's so sad. And I'd be like, I enjoyed it. I got to literally go to the store. I'm walking, seeing my friends, like, feel me? So what you might think was...
You brought back his change?
Huh?
You brought back his change?
Yeah. It was already in a brown bag, because I'm technically, that's illegal for me. So, but like, at the end of the day, it's like, what you might think was harsh, I enjoyed. So don't tell me like that's bad or that's what you shouldn't do. Like, nobody knows. His kids might actually love the way how he raises them.
And like the stuff you go through makes you who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't trade any of that. Like even the times where I got in trouble.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of that made me who I am, and like I'm proud to be the person I am today. So that type of stuff don't really faze me.
I'm not going to speak on any groups per se, but because those type of things like made you as a man, there's certain groups that didn't instill that, and that's why they have grown children that don't have a job that's mooching off of them, and they taken care of.
Yeah.
You ain't like put them in a place to where it's like, yo, you got to understand how to be a man, or like just, be able to handle like things early on of like just growing up. Feel me? There's certain people that like when you was young, you realize like, yo, you know what? Your mother probably taught you how to wash clothes early on. Feel me? Certain people probably
That's
never
a fact.
washed their clothes until
Bro.
their own clothes till it was like 19. But
My family did not play that, bro.
you get what I mean? So now when you got a 40-year-old in your house, no job, and still asking you how to do this or can you, you know why? Like there's certain groups where they're literally got a son or a daughter that can't
function on their own.
Yeah, like because you wanted to baby them so early on or through their whole life. Nah, I was taught to wash clothes early on. I was taught to sit here and iron clothes, all that. Yeah. So when it got to a certain point, it wasn't that I wasn't enjoying still being a kid. I had a good childhood, but it was still things that I learned as a youngin' that shaped me while I became an adult. That I didn't have to sit here and pick up late on or go through issues on having to do as I grew up.
Yeah.
That was just like some of the backlash that Nelly got for his statement.
Oh, his son?
Yeah,
What did Nelly say?
Nelly was basically like, like if something happens, his daughter could always move back home and stay there. But his son, you could stay there for a little bit.
But you're going to get a couch. Like, this is something that's temporary. He basically said, like, and it's...
And then they'll start, oh, wow, this is why black men are like this. This is why black families are like this.
Bro.
And I was like, I don't really take it like that.
It's like one day...
I feel as though, like, all right, you just making, you just kind of reiterating to your son that, yes, sometimes things happen in life, but you got to keep going. Like, you got to figure it out.
Not mad at it.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, it's not as if he told his son,
like, you can't come back home.
Yo, you can stay here for a day, but by tomorrow you got to figure this. Nah, you can come back home, but I'm going to put you in a space where you're not comfortable, that you want your own spot again, to where it's like, yo, I got to make sure I handle my handle. If I give you a room and I tell you you good.
Yeah, you're not going.
I don't got that drive now. I'm cooling. Like, I'm in a mansion now.
My dad is Nelly.
Yeah, like
we're going down, baby.
He hardly here. I'm chilling now. You get what I mean? Like versus, you know what? I can see that this is not something that I'ma really enjoy. I can't sit here and have nobody like.
What do y'all? I know we don't have kids, but where do y'all stand on that? Like what would y'all do in that situation?
Like if my son came back home?
Yeah.
I'm on the same time. For me personally, it's like I just want you to know. It's not that I'm rushing you, but I want you to make sure that you're on your shit to the point that you are working on getting your own place or being back on top again. Because not for nothing, I don't know how many I can't speak for women, and I feel like it is different for women. But I don't know how many men is gonna sit here and have their own place, then go back home and be like, you know what, I'm fine with this. Like. You gonna miss that again. You gonna want that again. So that's the most I'm gonna try to do. I feel like I'm not gonna ask you to pay rent. That's one thing that I want to sit here and at least give my child. So it's like you have that bread to put towards you. Or if I do, I'm gonna do like how I think it went like viral with a lady said like she was saving up all the bread and then finally gave all that money back to her son or something like that. It's maybe something in that sense. But yeah, I'm not gonna be one of them people where it's like, hey, you gotta hurry up and get out. Because I know, like, especially today, like, come on, son, we know what, like, I would hate for anybody to go through today because they asking for 26.
Yeah.
Ladies and
For you to
gentlemen,
just
Sounds
walk
crazy.
through your kitchen and go to the bathroom, like it's small spaces, and they asking for crazy bread. So even then, it's like, yo, if you feel like we could figure out something together, even then, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yo, let's do this. We could put into own this, or you know what? Let's turn that whole garage into a living quarter, whatever. Like, feel me? And we
Yeah.
break this down. Like, I'd rather do that. Be for real with you, yo. You cool with the basement? All right, look, we're gonna finish the whole basement, make it to our own little apartment. Me and you bust this whole mortgage down.
Yeah, I like that. I'm with you there.
Feel me? Cause it's like where we at right now with prices, bro. I wouldn't even be mad if my son was to come back. Like, unless you did good for yourself to the point, and if you did, chances are you ain't gonna need to come back. But like,
Yeah.
with how the economy set up and what jobs is paying, the math ain't mathing.
It's
So
definitely not. Yeah.
I'd rather either us put in for a property, turn the property into something, and we bust something down. Like, as long as we still got that space between us to where it's like you can walk around in your drawers and I ain't gonna see you, and I can walk around in my drawer. Cool.
Yeah.
And I also feel like I'm not saying like, yeah, you gotta go out your way and like provide a house or whatever, but you're still a parent at the end of the day. Like, your job doesn't end after your kids get to a certain age or leave the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
however which way you can support them. At least in my head, like, if that were to happen, I want to have enough space where if you got to come back home for whatever reason, like, there's that option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be on somewhere like, figure it out. Like, you left the crib, like, that's it. Like,
And
let me know how it goes.
I do feel bad because there are parents out there like that. Like, yo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, like that'll probably even put their new man before their kid. Like, nah, look,
A lot of people do that.
Yeah,
He-
a lot of
he's-
people do that.
he's saying that he's not comfortable with you being here. He feels like yo, what?
Like, I'm your son. Like,
you-
what are you
Do
talking
you hear
about?
yourself, mommy?
Why are you talking to me like this?
Like that's gonna make you bring out mommy again. Mommy, it's me. You don't even know him.
You met him last year on a cruise.
You got his name on the
about?
hit list as shrimp.
Yo.
That's how comedians
And
do.
how about I say, that was a good one. you gonna bring,
How to
you gonna
get
bring
this
that back too?
episode. But yeah, I will hope that, and then for my daughter, same. Like,
Yeah, I don't really. Back to Anthony Mackie. The only thing, and I guess that ties into it too. He also said that he doesn't get his kids like Jordans or like the latest
Yeah.
like clothes, or which for me, I don't think, like, to each his own. I have no problem spending money on the people I love, kids, family, whatever, as long as I feel like it's earned, right? Like, I'm not about to just be buying you things because you asked for them. Like, you have to show me that you're willing to do the things that you're supposed to do, handle your handle, and, you know, as a reward, like, you get the Givenchy rain boots or whatever you're asking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, spoiling and just doing things just because I got it, like, no. That's not
because
happening.
that set up bad habits.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
give,
now you expect
give,
it.
you give, and then they always expect. Feel me? Like, and I do feel like that's a hard place for most people that are at that level where they have that bread and they're
Yeah.
rich, because it's like you want to just give them the world because you got it and this is what you worked hard to do. But at the same time, if you always give them without having to like help them understand the responsibility and what it takes and all that, then next thing you know, you got a 40-year-old living at home expecting allowance still.
Like, Dad, my credit card stopped working today. What was that about?
Yeah.
Nigga, get a job. Nigga, What are you talking
I
about?
only spent 10,000 this week. What's the problem? Like, what? Only?
Right.
Last week it was 15. You didn't say nothing then.
No.
Like,
Yo.
but yeah, I think that's
That's
a hard
dead.
place that they do have, because it's like, damn, you have to do your best to make sure that they understand what it takes and work for this, and put yourself. I don't care if you put yourself in the smallest position around me, as long as you doing something. Feel me? You know how many people that literally are like have rich friends and they probably doing something that a salary base is like 40,000, but it's the fact that you're willing to do the job that they're willing to pay you 100,000, just off the strength of you willing to do a job, rather than just to keep being around and wanting the same things and live off of me. Like, feel me? So I think it's just to at least say you have the work ethic to be like, yo, you know what? If anything was to happen or whatever, you ain't gonna stay away from like putting yourself in a position to like actually go get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not knocking him on those, so I don't really care what another man buys his children. It's his bread. Like,
That's a fact.
This is why I say, like, everybody just want to speak on someone else. Like, that man bread, he worked for it. Why are you upset that he is not willing to buy his kids Jordans?
Yeah.
Like, tell me how, like, it's one thing to say, like, he has them walking around barefooted.
Yeah,
as long as they got shoes.
Like, I don't know. Someone was talking about how he's teaching his kids that success is, like, can't be given, or it's something stupid.
Yeah, I think I did see the caption of they said that he made the comment, like, success is not earned.
It's given.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Like, shut up. Holy hell, just stop talking.
I'm not gonna
Do us
hold
a
you.
favor.
I don't care to like even think or comment on those. As long as they are being treated fairly, taken care of, provided for.
Yeah, ready to get these jokes if they come in with these bum ass sneakers on your ass.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's the only thing though. Still make sure that you ain't
like your dad is Anthony Mackie and you wearing K-Swiss, my boy.
Yeah, like you had me walk to school in some Shaqs. Like, come on, son. Stop playing with me. Only Shaq kids should be going to school in Shaqs.
Yeah, no, that's a
Nah,
fact.
good ass.
And as a parent, I'm the type to flame my kids too. Like, see, look, now if you had better grades, you'd be going to school wearing something that you wouldn't get flames for wearing.
And that, I ain't gonna hold you. That's a way that you could do it. Still have that connection of like a good bond, but jokingly, and not have the kid so hurt. So it's like you can speak to them in a sense like, yo, look, I'm letting you know right now, them grades messed up. You're going to be going to school in some Shaqs. Versus a parent that's aggressive, like, you going to be walking in some off. Like, you get what I mean? Like, because now my son can say and be like, stop playing with me. I'm dead serious. Like, you want some Shaqs? Or you want these? And then it's like, all right, you know what? Let me focus on these grades. Like, my pops is really that nut ass nigga that had me in school in some Shaqs.
What's the worst pair of sneakers your parents ever got y'all?
Man, Faith got me some motherfucking...
She got you some Wallaby Clarks.
She had got me some Fat Farm sneakers one time. Oh, man. The Fat Farm shell toes.
Shell
Cocaine.
What?
Cocaine.
I can't remember.
I was rocking Fat Farm like velour suits.
And I wore them too. I wore them just
That's
like
not, all right, that's not as bad as sneakers.
I wore them just like they were some forces.
They better have one.
Oh yeah.
Better have one.
Yeah.
Those I really hated those.
Thankfully, my mom, I mean, like she would get me like Nike and stuff like that, but it wasn't like the Dunks or, you feel me? It was still Nike or like Adidas and
but
Tim's, but I never really had
you popped out in the green. You had the green Tims.
No, I had to be from Broccoli's.
Oh, okay.
Beef and Brock's, yeah, those.
I had to be from
I
Broccoli's.
remember my first pair of Tims. Well, no, I remember one time. All right, when everything was green, it was good, but when shit slowed up,
yeah, I might have to get into a story with that.
Woo, I was living in some dark times, brother.
Oh,
I was living. I remember Faith got me some Tims. with fur on the
Nah.
yo.
Those were hers. She passed
They
it.
had the fur lining at the top,
That's nasty.
and this like the boot cut era.
The boot cut.
So listen, how
Fur
I did
tips?
it was, I had the trues over them, so you couldn't tell.
So they,
Yo, you'd have been mad as somebody trying to lift your pant leg up.
so when James sit down, like he makes sure,
This
like,
nigga with the boots with the fur.
Nah, bro. So when I was a kid, she was lit. I was getting Nikes, Jordans, whatnot. At the time, shit slowed up, right? My pop still trying to make me excited about some kicks. He came with the Starberries.
Niggas was going crazy for Starburst though.
Fuck
Yeah.
no, not me.
Nah, at the time
and
when
the
Starberries
Proteges,
dropped, they wasn't looked at as Shaqs. They was actually
This is terrible
something that-
quality, bro.
No,
Yeah.
I believe so. They
yeah,
were.
because they were
$14.
Yeah, I was about to say
They were
it was
like
$15.
$20.
bro.
Yeah.
14.
He came with these. He had the knockoff forces. And he had
He had knockoff Marberries.
no.
That's crazy.
So he had
No, they
He had
had
the
I'm about to say,
knockoff
they had the-
knockoffs.
No,
That was knockoffs.
They had the Starbursts.
It's like 50 Cent.
No, they had the Starbursts that looked like forces.
Oh,
I remember those.
And
Nah,
they had
those are
the
nasty.
basketball.
I kind of remember ones that kind of look like AIs.
They had those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he brought both, and I'm like, this is what's going on here. Like, what's happening?
Nah, my
Yeah,
step
nah.
pops, bro.
Stephen Marbury's dropped these kicks. Think we're gonna do these this year?
Think we're gonna do these this year?
Like,
It's
it
crazy.
It better be these, cause they
I'm
don't.
telling this fresh off me getting like. I had the unreleased LeBron's like the first version. I was coming out. My kick game was crazy. I'm like,
Like the Hurricanes.
nah. All right, so he had a
The LeBron ones.
yeah, but like the
Yeah, you can't
the
do
ones
that.
before the buckle.
Okay.
Remember those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, what's up? Like, what's going on, bro? Like,
I would have ran them shits into the dirt first day. Where's the dirt at?
nah. And then
I
my
remember.
mother. Hold on, one second. My mother, she just didn't know no better. This polo boots hit the same, right?
Boots.
She got the assassin boots.
Oh
The
man.
Uspa boots. Damn.
I'm like, nah, ma, you tripping?
The Uspa
The
boots.
brown was a little different. The
It
brown
was.
That's crazy.
the brown was like a Milky Way.
Yo, that
Yeah.
ass. Yo, I swear,
said
them
a Milky
never
Way.
left the box. Never left the box.
Shit, I remember it used to be a spot. It was two spots. It was one, all the way on the other side of Wassesson, on the Bloomfield side. They used to sell like snacks, T-shirts, and shit
I
like.
know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Snacks and T-shirts is crazy.
They was in there cleaning money.
they was because they had every shirt from every music video back then. Like, remember the 3 6 Mafia video with the they had that in there
With the
too.
skulls?
They
Yeah,
had those, but they used to sell sneakers out of there.
They were
okay.
not- those
I never
were
been
not
in. I
real
just know what
sneakers.
you're talking about.
I for sure bought some forces out of there for $40.
And
I
know
was
what's
wondering
going-
about it. Third, yeah.
I remember that store. Yeah, that's funny.
I remember.
It was right before KFC.
Yep. By the third wear, the shit's. She's leading.
Yo, nah.
Turn boxes not.
But see, this is why
Hey,
it's
yo.
better at like we had a good time because like now there's too many critics and motherfuckers that's like
Yeah, bro.
looking like niggas.
but now they
Nick,
getting-
you on the train and next thing you know you viral. Nigga like yeah, his Jordan's fake.
They got the Air Jerry's.
Like it's a space where it's like yo people are too much into it. Like even a little young 6-5 years old be on to like fly shit and knowing like what's bad quality and good quality. Like
That's nuts.
we in scary times, man. But yeah, for me, I grew up like on some shit where it was like we was just like you was thankful for whatever you got. So not for nothing, it was never a time where I was like spoiled or was like, oh, you gotta get me these or whatever. Like I was at a point where we was sharing a room with 5 other families in a shelter, my nigga. Like, so nothing moving up from that was like to look at as, oh, you gotta, like, I could be spoil you, because everything from that point on was just like, yo, thankful.
Yeah.
Like, to even be able to have my own room and be playing a game and, like, I'm thankful, nigga. Like, so, yeah, I just was one of them niggas that, like, whatever I got, I was happy. Like, it didn't matter what it was. But, like, I think that's where parents need to, like, just, like I said, when it comes to the rich, even people, parents that don't even be having it like that, be wanting to splurge on kids, and it's like, you gotta help them understand what money means, like, like how much of a debt that shit is, because when you constantly keep coming to me and you like, oh yeah, I need the new Montclair, like, what's wrong with the Montclair from last year? Yeah. Oh, that's the old edition. No, like. Ain't no reason why y'all living in a little ass apartment, barely making rent, and you making sure your son got Montclairs.
Yeah.
Help him understand, like, what it is, to where it's like, yo, it's not that you can't get it, but, like, you ain't gonna be always to just get whatever you want.